All right, I have tone on my mind today. Tone makes a difference in a lot of things when we're deciding to whether we're going to buy a certain instrument or not, whether we're going to play because we enjoy the tone or we don't enjoy it, or whether the people that are listening enjoy the tone. I want to give you 5 easy steps to help change or tweak the tone of your resonator. Hi, I'm Byrl with Byrl Guitars. Welcome to Reso Biz, where everything's greater with the resonator. Strings, number 1. Strings change the tone of your resonator a lot. If you have old strings, obviously, they will sound, the older they are, the more like rubber bands they'll sound. And so you want to change your strings if you don't have a sound that you're enjoying, because they're probably worn out. But also different types. I use EJ42 D'Addario strings. Just like the sound of that. I like the sound of a couple other different kind of strings that are out there. I'll give you some to try. So if you want to just tweak your tone, you need to try a combination of these steps that I'll give you. Alright, some of your string options are D'Addario EJ42s and EXP42s. The difference is the EXPs have a wound or a coating on the wound to help it last a little longer. Also, the Byrl makes a couple different strings. Black Diamond is a new one I just found out about. The customer actually preferred the Black Diamond over any other strings. They just like those. GHS makes quite a few strings. In the GHS, I know of nickel bronze and phosphorus bronze wound. That's 2 different types of strings. So if you want to change the tone of your resonator, try playing with the types of strings, the brands of strings that are out there. Alright, the second thing that will help you tweak or change the tone of your guitar in a subtle way are picks. Obviously you don't use them quite like this, but the type of material that they're made out of will change the tone. This is a blue chip pick, and this is a plastic pick. This is a different type of, I don't know if it's a different type of plastic necessarily, but definitely a different type of pick. Then you have your finger picks, and you can have thumb picks in metal. I've never used a metal thumb pick. Banjo players use them. But you have these in different types of stainless. You can get them in just regular steel. You can get them in plastic. I've seen them with silver and I don't know, a blend of metal of another kind. There's just a variety, and all of it makes a difference in the tone. And so if you're tweaking your tone a little bit, you're looking for that just a special change in the sound, try a combination of your picks and your strings. See what that does. Third thing that'll help you tweak the tone of your guitar is a bone nut. So when I say nut, I don't mean peanut. I mean the nut at the top of your guitar, where your strings roll over right before they go to the tuners. There's different types of material they use, and it definitely affects the tone. You could play with that. I prefer, personally, bone. Absolutely. I keep trying different stuff, but the thing that I always end up going back to is bone. But try it. Combination of 3 things now may end up getting the tone that you want to hear. Alright, the 4th thing that I've got for you is something I learned in Roger Simonoff's book, Luthier Handbook. And the tip is about tuners. He talked about Gibson banjos. They would use different types of wood for the neck and different things at the head, and they wanted a good solid head to help resonate and help with the sustain of the guitar. And then he talked about having a good quality tuner, not a cheap one, so that when the sound, the vibrations got up to the tuner, they would have a solid post to ring off of it, and the vibrations would then ring back, and it'd help with the sustain. And so one of the things that I'm very particular about is making sure I wasn't at the beginning, but I learned to be later, is a good quality tuner. This is a Goda, and what I like about this is that the top screws in, and a lot of the newer ones are this way, but the older guitars sort of had just a bushing that would fit down, but this really makes the thing stick or connect to the head very well, and then it's just a very good working tuner. This is Goda. Then there is Grover's. You have your Waverleys, And there's quite a few other quality tuners out there, but you want to make sure you get a quality tuner. If you're wanting to tweak it, play around a little bit, don't take a lot to change the tuners on your instrument, but a good solid tuner will help change the tone a little bit on your instrument. Fifth thing to help you tweak the tone of your guitar, if you're wanting to play around, would be saddles. I have different kinds of saddles. They make different kinds of saddles. I didn't really come up with all this myself. People have been changing the type of saddles on guitars, resonator guitars, basses, banjos, anything that has that's an instrument forever. And the popular ones on a resonator are maple and ebony capped, and then maple capped, or just a maple saddle. Then they have a composite saddle, and I think Shearhorn was probably, that I understand, instrumental in starting that trend, but he had a different kind of composites that he would use on top of an ebony or a maple saddle, and they go in the inserts for the spider, and the strings rest on these. They change, for sure. They change the tone depending on what you use, and so I have what I call clear tone saddles, and they're my own particular composite that I've come up with. And for sure, I've named them particularly right. They do clear up the tone and made it more distinct, definite sound. But that's what it does in that way. Some people like a more muddy sound, or somebody like a different tone of ebony. And for what I hear, I like it. But to say that my clear tone saddles are the only way to go, can't say that. You got to try, experiment with the different types. If you'd like some saddles, I can sell you maple, ebony. We can come up with some fancy woods, or these clear tone composite saddles. The cool thing about these is I can get them in the same material and different colors, and so you can play with the cosmetic look of the instrument underneath the palm rest if you're wanting to. So that's 5 tips, different ideas to mess with, combinations. All sorts of combinations can be made out of those 5, and you use those and you can test and trial and error and try to figure out what works best for you and the tone that you like, and really you make a unique sound for your own self by just playing around with a few of these different tips. Try them, see what you like, maybe leave a comment below, and also remember, if you like this video, like it below and subscribe.